and all, welcome to Manchester United Brothers podcast. Oh, yeah, Sheffield United scored. Is that counted? Oh, it doesn't look like it's counted. Sorry. Good to have you all here. Welcome my co-host
Well,
Thomas
hold on a
Toucel.
second. What the hell just happened there? We're
Sorry,
just
asshole.
introducing into our
Sorry,
Man United
sorry.
podcast, and obviously Sheffield United are playing
He's
Liverpool
onside.
as we
He's
speak.
onside. Mate, he must be onside.
This has got to be the
Yeah,
best start to
it's an
any
own goal.
show ever.
Surely, their new centre back just kicked that in his own net. If he's offside, I think they give it off. Oh, raging. That would have been hilarious. Sorry, mate. Anyway.
So we'll try that again then. Welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome
yeah.
to the show, everyone.
Welcome. How are we all? Thomas, nice to have you. You good?
I needed that time. See, but like the last podcast we done, the last hour, I've sort of chilled out a little bit and reflected on what was a cagey game. But during the game, I was very, very, very frustrated because I just felt that we just had the fear. I texted you saying it. We had the fear, which was frustrating. The first 10 minutes, I was panicking, thinking they were going to batter us, and then I realised they had a lot of possession and moved the ball quickly, and that was it. Like, didn't actually have an end product. Yeah. Again, I felt like we could have played all night, and they wouldn't have scored, and we just weren't creating anything.
Yeah, man. I was texting Paddy McAvoy during it, and he was saying exactly what I was thinking in terms of we've a lot of millionaires running around who have a lot of energy and can run around and do a lot of hard work, but just don't have quality. And even to be fair, Ollie said it in his interview after. He said, yeah, we worked hard, yeah, we did defensively, we done well, but we didn't have the quality tonight, and we really didn't. Like, you could go, you know, yeah, you can go through the whole team and identify some areas that they haven't done well and things, but Dan James isn't good enough. He runs and works his socks off, but his quality's just not there. And in a game like that, that's where you need the quality. So it doesn't work for him.
But see, this is hard. We could go through our text messages, and if we'd done like a time scale, you'd see me absolutely caning Dan James, then not saying anything about him the rest of the match. And now I sit back and, like I said, I reflect on it and think, actually, Dan James was incredible today because of his energy, because of his enthusiasm, because of everything he'd done. He only had a couple of opportunities with the ball in the first half. The second half, I don't think he'd done anything wrong in the second half of the ball. He had a couple of good chances, got a good shot away. Like, he'd done okay, but for me, it was Rashford on the other side was more disappointing. He just didn't really give us anything.
You know, the two of them, mate. Well, look, yeah, Rashford wasn't great today either, but Dan James just doesn't have the quality. We've at least we've seen Rashford previously. He definitely does have the quality. I was the same as you. I was so pissed off, frustrated. I have a number of things to go at, and I'm trying not to crack up and all that carry on. But I suppose I was trying to reflect on it and think, am I right? And I don't want to be the one who's crying, oh, so many injuries and all. But when you take it all into account, McTominay's just back from injury, Pogba's still out, Donny was just back from injury, Cavani's still out. Who else is still? You know, we had them injuries there that were impacting us, so you're kind of going, right, okay. And that if Cavani's there, we set up differently, and Greenwood's there, and Greenwood has the quality, I think, down the right. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing for me that I think, because I was looking at our Facebook page and Twitter, and people saying, "Oh, we've played well, and you know it's a good result, and Chelsea are good." And this, Man United fans are fucking settling for mediocrity, and that's what it is. That is not what we do. We should be going out there and beating Chelsea. They're not good. Thomas Toucel is an absolute fucking dickhead. I would never worry about getting up the hill. Get him any fucking where, any time. I will knock his fucking. He's a prick. Wee cock, comb over her. Go and fuck off back to Germany, you dickhead. Mouthpiece thinks he's all this. He's nothing. He's not a good manager. He can pass the ball around. Piss off. He's useless. He's an absolute gobshite. After the game saying, oh, I seen it in the iPad and their player hits it with his hand. What fucking iPad's he looking at? Stupid shite. He's a dickhead. He's not good enough. We should have went out there and had Chelsea. Mediocrity is not what we should be accepting, and that's what we've done. We set up not to lose, and unfortunately we didn't get a winner, and then that's it, 0-0. You know, it's boring. I was saying I wasn't going to crack up, but as soon as I talk about that boy, I am so glad, so glad that we never went near him. He's just a cock.
You got that out of your system?
Yeah, mate, I cannot,
Did
honestly.
you needed that one, didn't you?
And there's still more. There's
Do you
still
feel
more.
better? Do
He's
you
the
feel
first.
better
But
after that?
if anybody did you see his interview after the match?
I seen it, and I had absolutely no issues with anything he said in his interview
What?
whatsoever. And
Mate,
more than that, he came across really well in his interview, and he was
Ah,
charismatic. Now,
mate.
whether or not you agree with what he said is a different matter. I don't
What?
agree with him saying that Man United player handballed it. He has seen something that we haven't, or he's lying. Simple as that.
Yeah, he's
Everything
lying.
else he said, I thought was actually. I warmed to the guy. I thought, yeah, he's
Oh
fair
my
enough. He
days.
spoke the truth. He spoke sensibly, and I didn't have
What?
any issues with it. He
Are you
was wrong.
serious?
He was wrong. It's as simple as that.
He's
He
a
was
liar.
he was wrong,
He's just a perfect liar.
or he was just wrong.
No, I mean, how can you say I watched it on the iPad after the game and we seen that, and we seen or during the game, whenever, and we seen it was their player in the red. Yeah, it's fucking Greenwood, dickhead. Know who the fuck you're playing against.
But what do you want him? What do you want him to
And it was
say?
his hand that hit it.
What do you want him to say?
What
Oh
did you
yeah,
say?
we handballed it. There should have been a penalty.
Yeah, what he could say is, yeah, look, the ball bounced up as a knockout angle. It was a strange one, but I don't think it should be a penalty. Don't lie. Don't barefaced lie. You fucker put him in front of me and see if he lies. He's a fucking arsehole.
I'm sure he probably
Arsehole,
would. I don't really think he'd care if he was stood in front of you
Yeah, I
on
get
whether.
fucking shocking.
I have no issues with his post-match interview.
I can't believe you're
Everything else he said about the game was absolutely spot on, and it was.
No, mate, no.
And
I'm not having
I don't think he's a world-class manager. If you look back at his career, what he done with Mainz and the team before that, and even what he done with Borussia Dortmund, he took over a Dortmund team that Klopp left in bewilderment because he didn't fancy a relegation battle. He saved them for relegation, and that was all he done. Then he went to France and he won the league. The only person who can't win the league with PSG in France seems to be Pochettino. So I don't rate him as a great manager. I think he's a very good manager. I think what he's done with Chelsea is impressive in terms of he's sorted out them defensively, but they can't do anything going forward. Dan texted me during the game saying how good is Mason Mount, and I didn't reply because it annoyed me, because before this game I would tell anyone that Mason Mount's a great player. I think he's quality, does a lot of stuff. Based on this game, Mason Mount didn't do anything in this game at all. He had one run forward, and that was about it.
I told you, man. I told you last week before that Mason Mount is not good. I don't know what everyone's bombing about. I don't think he's great, but I just don't think. I think everyone and everything linked with Chelsea is overrated. And previously, a lot of people have a lot of United fans always say about how they didn't really like Chelsea and had a hatred for them and all the rest of it. I didn't really give a shit about them because they're a bit meh. Yeah, they spend loads of money and they win the league now and again.
Same as Man City, though. That's the thing. I don't have a hatred for Man City because it's just about money.
I hate Chelsea. I have a passion. I want to see them lose every fucking week. I want to see them get smashed up. I want to see somebody stick their head in that wee dickhead Toucel, pull his hair over and show his wee baldy head. Because why? Just fucking shave your head, you dick. No, I think
a couple of things we should talk about. So, I mean, overall, we're not going to break down what players done, how good they were. I would say Lindelof made a couple of great touches.
Yeah,
I thought defensively, look, it was 0-0, so defensively we done well, and De Gea made one unbelievably great save. And everyone knows who listens to this. I've been bashing them for weeks and weeks and weeks, but I'll absolutely hold my hands up when they do something fantastic like they've done today, which was De Gea's save, Lindelof's touch, and Shaw's block, and then just Maguire in general done very well. So credit where credit's due. That's not why I don't want to talk about players. That's why I wanted to cover that. But what I'd rather talk about today is no one's really touched on the fact that we've had no coaching staff for the last 3 games because we're missing Fletcher, we're missing Carrick, and we're missing his name's completely gone out of my head now.
Oh my days. O'Hara, isn't it?
That's going to
I have
annoy
the
me
football
now.
on my phone, mate, so I can't look it up. But
No.
is it not O'Hara, or am I making that up? Am I making
You're
that up?
absolutely making that up, mate.
Look it up there. What is his name?
Well,
Kieran. His name's Kieran.
It is Kieran something.
Why do I think O'Hara?
I don't know.
Still
I
going to
think
keep saying it until you tell me.
yeah, you're just making it up, like. But you got to fill the gap, mate, because now I'm panicking and I'm
Yeah, right.
making
Well,
all
you look
sorts
it up,
of
but
faces
I agree.
can't
We
see.
are missing them. And I don't know. To be fair, I hadn't really thought of it and didn't know if
Well, there's a lot to be said for that, because it's one thing missing them on a match day at the stadium, but they're obviously not there taking the training day in, day out, and that's the worrying thing. Not a worrying thing, but I'm just saying that's the tough part of it.
It would actually be interesting to know, because obviously in Fergie's days, it used to be the assistant manager who took all the training sessions. So it would be interesting to know if that's the way, your guy Kieran was involved with taking the training, or is Ollie more involved? And then also even the likes of the warm-ups and things pre-match. Oh, sorry, I'm hitting my speaker. pre-match. I'm sure I've seen your man Kieran taking that before.
I
And
love
no
how you keep
flexion.
calling him Kieran, like as if. Yeah,
Because I don't know
Kieran. It
surname.
is Kieran McKenna. Yeah,
McKenna.
yeah.
It's close.
I was going to say
Wasn't close.
McNeil, and I was like, that's not right.
No, you've
But
worked.
do you know what I mean? No, there's a lot to be said for that. So small things like just the everyday things that Nicky Butt's now taking. Yeah, fair enough. Nicky Butt might be a very good coach, but there's no getting around that he's the youth team coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or an
Yeah, but
academy coach.
to be
It's
fair,
different.
I
It's
hadn't really
completely
thought of it.
different, and you have to set up differently. So I think we
And are they
deserve a lot of credit from that point of view.
So they're completely away, isolating from the
Completely
club.
isolating away from the Aon training complex, from Old Trafford, from everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's bound to have an impact, like.
So that's one thing, and it's not an excuse. I'm just saying it's impressive that we're able to push through it and not talk about it or moan about it.
Sounds like a bit
The
of
other
an
thing that we need to absolutely address is that penalty. As in, I know we still spoke about Tuchel's thoughts on it. We're not going to say Curtis off again on Tuchel, but
excuse. Yeah, fucking.
that's a penalty all day long,
Mate,
right?
there's no way in any world and any football pitch that's not a penalty. I remember a penalty given against you in Lisburn when we played for Finicky for one where your hand was at your side and as you it was actually maybe against me, was it? One of us anyway. As we ran out of the box and we moved our arm, it hit the ball, right? And that was a penalty back in that day. And to be fair, you would bitch and moan about, but our arm was, you're running out. So
If it was me, I'd definitely done it on purpose, man.
yeah, probably. But when I think when we talk about that much about it's one of them ones like we didn't want it to be a penalty, but if it was the other way, we would. It should have been a penalty.
It should have been. There's just no discussing it. It's a penalty, like.
He's got his hand up. He's fucking hit the ball out of the way. How can you not give a penalty? And the other funny thing is, them fucking Chelsea dickheads are shouting for handball against Mason Greenwood. Then they realise it's actually his hand. So what? We'll just shut up now. It's not handball then. What the fuck?
It's just madness, mate, because, and this is the bit that just has absolutely turned my world upside down, and I guess this is what's made me not worry too much about how United played, in terms of I was really angry and sort of just accepted it. The fact that Luke Shaw has said that he heard the referee said to Harry Maguire, I can't give that penalty, it will cause too much controversy.
I didn't hear that. That was Luke Shaw said that.
That's what they said, because then is it Jeff Stelling asked the questions after Jeff Shreves. Jeff Shreves afterwards said to Solskjaer, can we ask you what the ref said to Harry Maguire? And Solskjaer said it's not for me to say. He said Solskjaer said if I say anything, it'll get the lad in trouble in terms of the referee. And then Jeff Shreves said to him, Luke Shaw has told us that the referee said I can't give it; it'll cause too much controversy. And Solskjaer said, yeah, he did say that.
Mate, if that's true, if that's what was, if the referee.
Well, why would they
that,
make it up, and why would they come out and say that to the cameras?
If the referee said that, made he needs sacked.
But this is what I'm talking about. The issues with VAR is VAR is a joke. It is just making everyone second guess what they're doing, and then not give the decision as correct decisions because of the controversy. Whether it's right or it's wrong, the controversy is always going to be there because it's a controversial subject, and the practicalities of VAR is controversial in itself.
But I watched Shaw's interview, but the problem was the child was running around like a mad hatter, and I didn't quite hear everything he was saying, so I missed that obviously. But the fact of the matter is, it's controversial whether you give it or you don't give it. You don't give it, it's still controversial, so that makes no sense at all. So the referee's actually a fucking dickhead, and plus, who in VAR is advising him to say, allowing that? They can hear what he's saying all the time, can't they?
I don't know, mate. But what I'm saying is VAR have told him to go and look at it for a reason, because it's a handball in the box. It's a clear day. I don't know why he has to go and look at it, because at the end of the day,
what I heard Shaw saying was it was. They said it was a penalty. VAR said it was a penalty.
Yeah, and then he went on to say that next bit.
So
that's what Jeff Shreves said to Solskjaer that he had said.
I mean, if that's true, I'm flabbergasted. I'm nearly lost for words with that.
But it is so true, mate. It is so true that since Klopp came out and started saying about United, and other managers saying about United getting more penalties, we haven't got anything. We have got nothing from VAR.
I know, but there's the thing, mate. United had 13 penalties, Chelsea had 15. So it doesn't even make sense. It's a load of shit. And it was a load of shit then, but you're right, it is. And this is what I've said to you before. All them pundits and all, a large majority of pundits, a large majority of referees and everyone are at the age of whenever it was football team was in running the English game and was the big team that everyone loved. It was when it was Liverpool who were winning the league in the 70s and 80s, and everyone loved them and they were brilliant. And they are all that age and they remember that team. So whether rightly or wrongly, people go, oh, they have their own team and all that. Yeah, they do. But a lot of them came up when Liverpool were winning, and a lot of them have an affection for Liverpool. People call me out all they want, but that's fact. It's factual, and you'll see it from a lot of pundits too. But it's never mentioned, it's never discussed. If that's happened today, like, I'm not saying anything about people get carried away with death threats and all this shit. The referee, that's ridiculous. But it should be dealt with in terms of professionally by his organisation to say you cannot say that. You're sacked. Stand him down, drop him for a week or whatever. But it doesn't need to be more than that. That is not acceptable. I can't give this because it caused too much controversy. Tell you what it is. Then you don't referee. Then you fuck off because you can't be a referee. You don't have the balls to make a decision. That's ridiculous. And it was a penalty. Forget all the rest of it. It wasn't controversial to give it. It was more controversial to not give it. Because if that was given, I think nearly everybody, apart from stupid Liverpool or stupid fans, Chelsea fans who are blind and just won't be honest about it, would say it was a penalty. If that had happened against us, I'd have said that's a penalty. You can't put your hand up there and you can't hit the ball.
I agree 100%. It should be a penalty. I don't know if I agree with how deep you're going with the conspiracy of it all. I don't think it's anything to do with that Liverpool connection. Although you're probably right with the affection and everything, I don't think that is what comes into the decision making. I think what comes into the decision making is the fact that the media are constantly talking about how many penalties Bruno Fernandes has scored, how many VAR decisions Man United have got. When that is front and centre, constantly, then subconsciously that's what's going in. Nothing to do with the Liverpool stuff and what their affections are and how they've grown up.
But where did that start?
It's all media from Klopp saying
No, but yeah, Liverpool. It all started with Liverpool.
Yeah, but it doesn't go hand in hand with your point.
Nah, it does, mate. It's all connected, mate.
It goes. It does is because Man United are the biggest club in the world, mate. It's as simple as that. And the media love to talk about us because that will sell newspapers. That's why they talk about Man United. It's that simple.
Well, agreed. Well, I agree. I do agree on that point. To be fair, you're not wrong. But it's pissing me off more now. And if that's been said, and that goes back to that said, that referee should never referee a match again, right? And people might think that's harsh, and maybe stand him down for a week or two. No, he should never referee a match again because he is just in that moment identified that he is not qualified, strong enough, has the correct whatever to referee a Premier League match, to referee any match. If you don't make a decision because you think it's too controversial to give something, but, is that him saying, I do know it's a penalty, but it's too controversial to give it? That's him basically saying, I don't have the balls to do this job. Don't do it then. Don't do it. Don't let him do it. Take him out of the firing line. Take him out of the game. See you later. You're done. That's like, I don't know. I can't even think of a comparison, but it's absolutely insane. I'm disgusted. I'm so angry tonight. I was hoping that I wouldn't.
I can tell you how angry you started when you came on and you were saying that you weren't angry and you were out, and then someone mentioned Thomas Toucel and you've just went absolutely boogaloo.
Well, mate, it's not even him. He's one of them. It started off with Rudiger, and I want to fight him too. I'll take him up the hill. Now he might be 6'3" and kick the shite clean out of me, but I'll still have a pop at him. He 2 or 3 times kicking our boys off the balls and getting away with it as well. The referee let them get away with 3 or 4 off the balls. One was on James, one was on Greenwood, a couple on Bruno. The referee was just letting it all go. It was absolutely disgusting tonight. And so the penalty itself should have been a penalty, and then everything else. I just thought the referee was diabolical. And I don't usually target refs and go, that's why we lost. I'm not saying that's why we didn't win. I'm not saying that's why we didn't win because I still think we had more to give. But I will say he's just a shit ref, and he just shouldn't be refereeing. I just thought it was terrible. And then, Rudiger thinks he's a big lad kicking and all. Piss off.
Mate, I don't like Rudiger at all, like. I can't stand him.
Yeah, mate.
He really winds me up for some reason.
Yeah, because he's a cock, because he's kicking people off the ball.
And, yeah, there was a couple of times where we could have gone through, and he was doing that off the ball. I think it was Greenwood on one and James on another one. And it was just ridiculous.
Yes, it was, yeah. Have you got the Luke Shaw interview?
Yes, so I've just looked it up there because I want to play it. Because what I didn't say earlier is I didn't see the Luke Shaw interview. I seen what Jeff Shreves. I seen the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer one. So I'm going to play this now. Hopefully it'll come across well through my speaker. If you can't hear me, let me know and stop me, and I'll
What did you make of it? Finished on as even?
Don't know really. Quite an evenly matched game. Not too many chances, I don't think. We were both quite sort of safe. Maybe they had a bit more possession, which probably we knew that was going to happen the way they've been playing. They've been keeping the ball well, but we defended well. I don't think we created too many chances today, so a bit disappointed with that. We needed to win because obviously the gap's getting bigger. We knew that. We didn't, so who knows?
It was perhaps one of those where both defences and midfield played well, that you just cancelled each other out.
Yeah, no, I think that was it. Like I said, there wasn't too many chances from either side, so we need to keep pushing because we obviously wanted to win today because we wanted to close the gap, even though we know the gap's big, and obviously we've just got to move on. We take a point. They're a very good team. They haven't conceded too many either, so we have to look at it like that. They defend well, so we need to move on. We've got another big game against Crystal Palace this week.
It was a big talking point, a potential penalty. Were you aware at the time of what it was potentially for, or basically what was happening?
I don't know. I think at the time I saw a handball. I didn't know whether it was Mason or Callum. I just carried on. I didn't even know that there was a potential check. I don't know why they stopped it if it was a pen. If it's not going to be a pen, I don't think they needed to stop. The ref even said to Hayes, I heard him say if I say it's a pen, then it's going to cause a lot of talk about it after. So I don't know what happened there. Hayes said that they got told it was a pen. He got told it was a pen by VAR. So I'm not sure.
They asked the ref to go and look at it, and he stayed with his decision.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't understand why he stopped. If he's going to stop, I think maybe you would think he's going to give a pen because we had the ball. We was attacking. So it's confusing with this VAR because if it's not going to be a pen, and they might as well just carry on the game. They might as well not stop the flow of the game.
I'll stop it there, mate. But that's unbelievable, isn't it?
Wow.
I can't give a pen because there'll be too much talk about it after.
I just can't believe it.
And that just shows you. And to play devil's advocate, and this is so funny because I've said to you before, I'd love to do something on a podcast talking about all sorts of sports and everything to do with it. And we thought, we'll stick it to Man United because that's what we love at the minute. But we're not talking about Man United at all here at the minute. We're talking about a VAR decision. Yes, it was a United game, but VAR is ruining. It is ruining everything now. I was having this conversation with someone the other day. Players who are confident play much better, right? There's no doubt about that. Confident player is a better player. Referees are no different. When they're confident, they are brilliant. They're making the right decisions. All VAR has done is take away every single referee's confidence because they don't know what's going to happen if they give a decision that they've seen. And they'll see it in real time and they'll go, that's going to be it. And then think, what if it's not? Beforehand, I wouldn't have known until 2 or 3 hours down the line when I get home and see it on TV and go, I could have done that differently. Now, it's instantly I'm going to be told you're wrong. So, Thomas, I blow my whistle for a free kick or a penalty or a foul. Shit, is it? VAR's going to check it. Nah, it's not a penalty. Fuck, I got that one wrong. You're second guessing yourself the rest of the game. The referees are not being given the room to have the confidence because VAR is just changing everything they're doing. And that is, and don't get me wrong, the referee is terrible. But there is a valid reason why the refereeing has got worse this season. It's not because VAR is picking it up. It's because the referees are getting it wrong more because of VAR.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I still want to. I don't know. I'm so annoyed by that. So the problem there is, like you're saying, the referees are second guessing in their head. What they're thinking is not about the actual decision. Mm-hmm. It's about what actually comes after the
That's
decision.
Exactly
and the repercussions and the feedback and the talk about it. Like that can't be right at all.
There's even the old feel safe now of I won't give a penalty. I think it's a penalty, but I won't give it, and we'll see what happens. And if VAR calls me up on it, then we can go back and give it. But right now, I'm not going to give it on the pitch because it might be too controversial.
But it makes very little sense in terms of it's like Luke Shaw said, we were in the attack and he stopped it because VAR have, and like he said in his interview, they've told him it is a penalty. So he's went over and actually overruled that decision.
On
Because
how he
was-
overrules it, I have no idea.
No, neither do I. But he's overruled them saying it's a penalty, basing it on the fact of, and what he's saying there is, if I give it, there'll be too much talk or controversy, or whatever way you want to word it. So, that's, yeah. I don't know what else to say on it. Last year, if I'm honest with you, I'm absolutely disgusted by it. I think VAR is ruining it. The annoying thing for me is I think VAR can be used very well. If you look at it in rugby, for example,
I
and you'll
wouldn't.
know
I
this, you
wouldn't
watch
bother.
rugby.
I wouldn't bother.
Well, yeah, I know there's an issue with the wheels.
Nah, rugby's just gone to shit, mate. It's just the
Yeah,
World
but
Rugby
okay,
are
but-
ruining that sport, and I'm a huge. Well, I
But
used to
that's-
be a huge rugby fan. This season, I cannot watch any of it because they've just
But that's
changed.
different.
But it's similar actually because they've changed so many rules. They had rugby, a
Yes.
perfectly good game, a great game, and they had it down to a T. And then they start making more rule changes and introducing more,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's just it ruins games. It's ruined rugby, and I won't
Yes.
even watch it anymore. And I'm talking about I
Yes, but
played it
that-
for years, all my life. I loved it. I preferred rugby over football. Now I cannot watch it. But football's going the same way. That's the problem.
Yes. But what I was saying about the rugby is, yes, they've brought in all them new rules now, and that's made it a bit shit. I haven't watched any of the Six Nations, and you know I watch it all the time. So, but what I'm saying is, at least with the video referee in rugby, it is very clear and concise the way they do it. Now, I didn't see what happened yesterday. I know there's some controversy over a Wales-England thing and the Wales try, but in general, they would say, and people go, but the refs get respect and all that. Yeah, but they get respect because they earn respect, and they won't take the shit. So if they do get it, then they just send them off. So there's an element of that as well. They take control and they own the game. That's what the referee's there for. I'm in control of this game. I'm in charge. And the video referee in rugby helped that. And like you're saying, VAR in football doesn't help that. It totally undermines it. And actual fact, if you watch the VAR today when the referee was looking at it, and I think it was Gary Neville said Harry Maguire was over there. I didn't see Harry Maguire, so if he was there, okay. But what I did see was Callum Hudson-Odoi and Azpilicueta shouting to the referee behind him while they're watching the video while he's watching it, shouting stuff in his ear. So, it's not helping them. It's not making them take more control of the game. It's actually loosening their control in the game, weakening their control in the game, and giving players more opportunity to bitch and moan about everything to the ref. And he's clearly today been influenced by what could happen after that, what was said to him, whatever. He's been influenced by all that, and he's made the wrong decision. And to be fair to VAR, to give it from the other side, it got the decision right.
Yeah, I know.
It said it wasn't penalty.
I know. But
So-
it's just the fact that I don't even. Yeah, I'll just be repeating myself again. But it's the fact that it's making the referees do things that referees would never have done. But
Well,
if
yeah.
you, well, I'd just like to say welcome to Man United Brothers, where we talk about Man United matches and break down each game, and often go off on tangents that have absolutely nothing to do with Man United, but football in general.
Well, it did
I
tonight.
know,
though,
mate.
because
It's just
what I would
it's
actually
driving
do,
me insane. That drove me insane today because it should have been a penalty. But the way United played
Yeah.
today in general, to bring it back to that match, I just think we played with fear of them getting in behind, which never seemed to be a problem. I loved the high press, loved the high line. In terms of we played it well, I was a bit worried about it to begin with, but in general, I really liked how we set up. But I think you said at the start, we just lacked that killer pass, that last bit of quality, which was unfortunate. And you're absolutely right. We're not going to moan and bitch about it the way some of our rivals do, Liverpool. But injuries done us a bit, definitely done us a bit. We miss Pogba. We massively miss Pogba.
Yeah, we massively miss Pogba actually, and it's becoming more and more apparent. You're sort of looking and going, there's no one with that quality to get the ball. That ball's out of play for Liverpool goal, has to be ruled out. There's no one with that bit of quality who can take the ball out and play a pass. Fred, it's I want to go back to it. Works hard, all over the pitch, covers a lot of ground, kicks the ball out of play, passes to the opposition team, all that sort of stuff. He's just not. He doesn't have the quality. He just doesn't have the quality. So that's what lacked today. The high line actually worked well. Why it worked?
Because Giroud.
I was about to say you'll never know if this is the case, right? Because obviously you never find out. But I would be curious to know if that decision to play the high line came after the team was announced for Chelsea.
Yeah, I'd
Because
probably
if
say
Tammy
it would have
Abraham,
been.
Timo Werner and stuff are playing, then surely we wouldn't have played like that. without bye. Surely wouldn't have played that without bye. What should say?
Yeah, no, you're spot on, mate. That makes sense. But
Because Giroud allowed it. Giroud's
he's
not
not
going to
fast, is he? He's not a pace guy,
Yeah.
like, so it was
So
yeah. But look, all in all, as a defensive shape, we done really well. I think I would have liked us to win that game. I think the reason I was most frustrated is because there were so many gaps between their back three that I think we should have exploited, and on a normal day we would have exploited. So that's where the frustration is. But the way we got to look at it is City have won the league. We're not going to win that. But I think it was 2 points dropped. We're a point ahead of Leicester. Yes, our second position for now isn't in jeopardy, but we just need to make sure we beat Crystal Palace on Wednesday night. So if you have anything else to say about this match today, wrap it up now and then we'll move on.
I don't know. I don't think there's any point in saying anything else. I think I'll say, look, we need a couple of players back in. We need Pogba back. We need Cavani back, and that gives us a different approach to it. But I was going to say I do like the highlight, and maybe something we should look at in the future because it gives us more of an attacking emphasis. But the difficulty depends who you're playing and who they play up front. Anyway, with Pearson it's just popped over the top and they're done for. So, but look, I guess when you take it all into consideration. Like you're saying, well, injuries and things like that, playing against 12 men, and all the rest of it. Well, then, I suppose the 0-0 draw is not the worst result in the world. And Chelsea have improved under that dickhead, but I still think he's not a good manager. They're not a good side, and I hope every single week from here until the end of the season and for the rest of the time they get fucking smashed up. I hope somebody somebody empties Rudiger 2 foot in his fucking head, and I hope somebody karate chops Toucel in the fucking face.
All right.
So apart from that,
Okay, well, just to round it off then, prediction-wise, you predicted a 1-0 win to Man United. I predicted a 1-1 draw. Point to T-Dog.
How's that a point to you?
It was a draw.
You predicted a 2-1 win.
No, didn't you, Dick?
To United.
I predicted a 1-1 draw.
I think if you go back and listen to the podcast, you predicted a 2-1 win to United. Just because you're showing me a bit of paper that you'd sneakily scribbled something
I'm not going to write down a score that I haven't said.
You're so full of shit. You said 2-1.
This is controversy in itself, mate. We'll get VAR on this one. I will listen to the podcast again. I'm pretty sure it didn't because I'm not going to write down a different score than what I've said.
No, you did, mate.
I will check that out and we'll update that at some stage. But
check it out.
I know for a fact I wouldn't know.
You're just like your dad.
I know that. So, Crystal Palace, Wednesday night, 8:15. What are we saying?
Man, it's... look, when we played Palace at the start of the season, it was absolutely atrocious. Like, I don't think anybody could believe how poor we were. And there was a lot of reasons for that, as people said. I don't buy any of them, saying, we started late and all the rest of that bullshit. Doesn't matter, we should have beat them. So if we play like that again, we're in trouble. I think if we look at it, it's one that we do need buy for because they will have Zaha if he's fit.
I think he's been injured though, isn't he?
Has he? I don't know, but even that'll have Townsend, Eze, and a couple of the pace in there. Benteke plays the dote. Obviously, he's a target man, but it should be buy for me along with Maguire and gives you that pace because then you can step up and still play that higher line and not be too worried about that pace in mind you because buy can cover it. But we need, the simple fact of the matter is we need Cavani. I don't think Pogba's not.
A couple of weeks is what was said.
Yeah, so if Cavani's hopefully fit for it, he starts. You put Greenwood right, you put Rashford left, and well, it won't happen. It won't happen. But I'll keep talking about it. You need to. I would have Donny and beside probably.
I just have him anywhere on the pitch at this stage, like just get the poor boy on the pitch.
No, but in beside McTominay, I think it's a bit, makes sense. Like,
yeah, no, I'd
for
go
me,
for that.
that's right. I was surprised. I know we're not talking about today's match, but I was surprised he didn't come on. Frames on the yellow card and looked like he was at risk of another one. To be fair, he didn't, so fine. But I thought to bring him on in beside McTominay, at least he keep you the ball and maybe get a few passes going forward quicker and not to their team, which is always beneficial when you pass to your own team. So that's why I would want him there on Wednesday night.
Well, that's what you'd said to me, didn't you? Because you had texted me saying that.
Oh, you listened to our podcast?
No, sorry, I was trying to do something else there. You had texted me, and I was said about getting Donny van de Beek on, and we said that he won't come on because he doesn't trust him to hold that midfield area, and that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, but then Yeah, against Crystal Palace, should you be worried about that so much? No, in my opinion. But then, but then suppose if you're playing devil's advocate, someone will go, yeah, but they beat you 3-1 the last time, so maybe you should be
Is
worried
that
about
what it was? Was it 3-1?
I think it ended 3-1, didn't it? Yeah.
Oh man, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. It was embarrassing at the time, especially. But look, when you look at it on paper, and you talk about Crystal Palace, we should be beaten. But that's the problem. That's the problem. We should be beating them, but you know what we're like. Unfortunately, the teams we should beat, we don't always succeed at that. It'll either be if he plays the McTominay, Fred, Lindelof, Maguire, De Gea. And to be fair, as I say, De Gea done well today, but I still don't think he's come out in this area. And I think I've messaged you a few times saying De Gea's a pussy. Should have came out and cleaned that out.
Mate, that one, the one where we actually broke and then should have scored on it. De Gea has went to come and then just shit himself and
Yes.
stopped. I'm just watching it going.
100%.
But again,
Yeah,
it's
100%.
hard to knock him after that amazing save he made today.
Yeah, I know he makes a good save, but that's what he's there for. But if he goes with that against Crystal Palace, it's going to be a shite watch. It's going to be boring, and if we get a 1-0 win, we'll be lucky. It could bite us in the arse, and they score against us. The only thing is, sometimes when they score against us, then it makes us come out. But I just don't want that. Just put in Donny, put in Edison Cavani, if fit, and play with that attack that we played against. It was against Everton. I think he played that Cavani, Greenwood, Rashford, Bruno in behind, and we attacked. Now, yes, we didn't get the defence right in that day. But from attacking point of view, it was our best one. Just do it again. Just get them out there and go at them. And if you do that, we could beat Crystal Palace 4-5-0.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, mate. We need to get that early goal, don't we? But I'm glad you were talking there for a while because I was just wanting to check something out there because I ain't having you telling me on live on this radio show and all our amazing fans that I talk
not a
shit.
radio show.
So just want everyone to listen to this for a minute.
Say 1-0 United.
That's Curtis's
Shit,
prediction.
why did I let you go first? Why would
Well, I wanted to say 1-0 to United. I'm saying Chelsea are going to win stuff that. I could see. I don't know what I could see. Genuinely, it's a tough one. Part of me wants to say 1-1. I'm going to say 1-1. And I hope I'm wrong.
I'll take my apology now, please, mate.
Sorry about that.
So I
think it was because we were on to talk about.
No, don't give me that shit. No, you're accusing me of lying and of mixing the books up. And as you know, we would have learned from the best when it came to cheating. But I do not like cheating in games. Maybe when I played football, a little bit of the niggly cheating, I didn't mind that. But this sort of thing, yeah. But anyway, back to what we're talking about. Right. It is away from home, so at least we can pretty much. I'm not going to say it. I was going to say we can pretty much guarantee we're not going to lose. But let's see what happens. So it's going to be. I just don't want it to be an old boring affair where we sit back. I just want to see us go for it, like you say.
That's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem, yeah. And the other thing is, if he's thinking about City then at the weekend, he might bring in buying stuff.
Well, it's funny you say that because then if he is thinking that way, then surely Van de Beek has to start. Van de Beek beside Matic, maybe. Or he might go bloody Tuanzebe in the midfield again, which is an interesting thing to do.
I seen a funny post on Facebook from a Man United fan saying about Tuanzebe playing as the holding defender that they wanted the team they wanted for today, and he was in there. I was like,
yeah, but some people are just caught up on the emotion of it and they're like feeling sorry for players and stuff. I can't buy into that. I do a little bit actually, but you know what I mean? It's just about what you said at the very beginning about Man United fans are starting to settle for mediocrity, which I think actually happened a long time ago. We started accepting that, and it's right. We shouldn't be. We absolutely shouldn't be. I did. I did for a while there, but now I get it. And I see that game, and I just think, and even a couple of the guys on the Facebook, the points they make were spot on. I think Sam and Baker both said very good points, and I don't disagree with those points that they're saying. But the fact is, we could have beat them. We should have beat them because they were not a good team today. Okay, that's harsh. They are a good team, but they were there to be beaten.
They're not, mate.
They were there to be beaten.
Good team.
Yeah, but you can't say they're not a good team because Sheffield United are not a good team and they beat us. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to be on the fence as such, and so you can't just say they're not a good team. They are a good team. Anyone who's in the Premier League are a good team. But I'm just saying that they're not as good as us, and we should beat them.
Mate,
And we just didn't. We just
we
didn't
should have
turn
beat
up.
them. Yeah, but that's why we definitely need on Wednesday night. That's why I want us to put that attacking out, go at them. It's so funny because it's a game where you went, oh, we're playing that high line, and that's good, and that gives you that base to go and have that attacking performance, but never really can. But as I say, with the quality, so on Wednesday night we need, if the right players are playing, then we should have that quality, and that then should give us the base to go on and drive at them, attack, and get.
Did
some
you
goals
say you
nice and
wanted
early and beat them 4-5.
Cavani to start on Wednesday?
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. My problem with that is if he starts Wednesday, will he be able to then push through to play again on, I don't know if it's
Sunday?
Saturday or Sunday.
It's Sunday at 4:30. Yeah, mate.
But after a little injury,
Sunday.
I'm not blaming his age or anything like that. I'm just saying after an injury, like, can you come back and do it straight away? Because if you look at Vardy today, he was non-existent in that Arsenal game. His first game back was middle of the week there, wasn't it? After a little injury. Actually, he played last weekend. He came on as a sub.
he was back
So
there,
2
he
games
was
back to back, though. But that's what I'm saying. In his third game, he's a bit sluggish and.
Yeah, so if you play Cavani, this Wednesday, and then what do you call it, Sunday, then he can rest him for the next.
Oh yeah,
game.
rest him
Next game
against
after
AC
Saturday.
Milan. Good thinking, mate.
Is that who
Yeah,
next?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's a rough couple of weeks, mate. Let's not even start talking about that yet, or I'll go to bed depressed. Right. What's your prediction then for Crystal Palace?
4-0.
4-0 Man United.
Go
boom,
big, mate.
straight
Fuck
away.
it. Go big.
I'm going 3-0.
I see you just took my score and you've went, oh, go big. You're sneaky. Oh, sneaky.
Tactics, mate. I'll say it again. 3-0. I'll show you it this time too, so don't get accused of any shit next week.
Yeah,
I'll say
yeah,
next week,
whatever.
Wednesday. But yeah, mate, look, frustrating day. I know we didn't really talk much about the match, but it was pretty, we covered everything that happened in that match, really. And yeah, there's some serious issues with the way football is going at the minute, with the rules, with the VAR, with the refereeing, and it's worrying. That's my take on today.
Yeah, it's an interesting take, mate. I don't know. I think VAR has its plus points, but I just think it obviously wasn't used in the right way. Well, it was. No, I don't even say that. I'm not. It was used in the right way today, but the referee is a bottle job and just needs sacked. It's as simple as that. So I don't. People might disagree with that, probably will, but that's my view on it. And I suppose just to wrap, there's a couple of things to wrap it up. One, Thomas Toucel, if you get this or if anyone passes it on to you, let me know when and where, and let's sort this out. I want them.
You realise, though, I'm not going to come with you, and usually if you're getting into fights, that's usually the way it gets sorted, by you starting it and me finishing it. Thomas, you're all right, mate. Don't worry about it, Mr. Toucel. He ain't going to do anything.
Anyway, but just on another note, on the radio station we talked about in our last podcast, it's been delayed for a while, so we will update you when it's going to go live and what's happening. It's just been a pin put out for a few weeks at least anyway. I think there was too much fan drama over it. It was getting too much hype. And
agents were trying to get involved, and Mina
it's
Reala
money,
couldn't get the contract I wanted, so we pulled the plug.
It's like Thomas Pogba over here. It's just big demands. So, but we'll get there. We'll get it sorted out. We'll keep you updated on. So watch the space. But apart from that, look, I started off by saying I wasn't going to be too angry. I was nice and calm. But I think I went off on wee rants here and there, so apologies for that. But still, I'll stick to it. Not quite the result we wanted, but we're still second in the league. We're still second in the league. We're still a point above Leicester. We go again on Wednesday night. Let's hope we get a good performance and a good win. And of course, we will then be on after the match, and we'll give our insight then. But until then, have a good week. Hopefully Monday's not too badly as all. And of course, as always, let's remain brothers united. Good night. Good luck.
See you Wednesday, folks. Have a good week.